Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm excited again because every time I bring you something, it's more than just content. It's a reality from what I've experienced. And I was thinking about LaMelo Ball tonight. First of all, again, thank you to all those who patronize our page and who come by and who are subscribing. I see you. It makes a difference. We really do appreciate it. But tonight, I don't really want to talk about LaMelo Ball, but I want to talk about the effects of the past. I'll say this, and we're going to reference something in a minute. In 1988, I was 25 years old, so I'm going to leave it at that age. For those, I've been around sports for a long time. Dodger Stadium. And being at Dodger Stadium, we always had season tickets, though. We sat in left center field, and I can remember my dad catching balls that were hit at that time by some of the major players, Ron Say, Davey Lopes, all those individuals, Steve Yeager, which was the catcher before Sosha took over, and then it was Tommy Lasorda's nephew who took over, and then it was Lasorda who coached the game back in the year. What am I saying? These individuals all made a difference in sports because if you know their history, most of them were not supposed to be where they were. Watch this. Ron Say was considered too short. Davey Lopes was a minority. Tom Lasorda really didn't make it. He had a stint coaching at USC and always around the Trojan program. So these are individuals who weren't supposed to make it. And why am I saying this? Because there was always something against them. Time grants those opportunity who shouldn't receive it, but they receive it. Kirk Gibson in 1988 had a torn right knee and a left hamstring that was stretched completely out of place. We're going to get to that in a minute. But let me get back to LaMelo Ball. The reason I'm saying this, if you look at LeBron James, they go all the way back to high school, and they're showing his games on TV. So there was always a placeholder position for him. They were even doing commercials to make sure that he would be successful. If you are my age and you go back and look at Shaq, they started doing commercials as soon as he graduated from high school, having him on commercials with some of the great, letting you know he would be the next great center. But when it comes to LaMelo France Ball, if you look at him, none of those things happened, and none of those things were given to him. This is why I'm kind of weary about MJ's comments, because Michael Jordan also, after that famous hit, that shot in North Carolina in college, he was let it be known he would be the man. So do you see what I'm saying? All these individuals had something given to them because of what the NBA needed, now going from just a team family sports to something that will one day be marketable. All right, so watch this now. LaMelo Ball has no college experience. LaMelo Ball has no famous college shot. LaMelo Ball has no one following him around. Well, yes, they did at Spire Institute and at Chino Hills, but it was not the NBA. See, that's the difference. So what am I saying? He was not given anything. So how dare anyone suggest what his parents do for him equals to what was done for those other NBA players by the NBA? Because it doesn't. Let me show this video clip. I get pumped up every time I watch this clip. Why? Because I was a part of that Dodger family. Back then, everyone who went to Chavez Ravine, were a part of that Dodger family. I can remember where we parked. I can remember how we walked. I can remember Dodger dogs. It was just something. I can remember seeing back then the players with the greatest respect for the game and what they did. I remember watching Parker, I think it was Dave Parker, played from the Pirates. I remember Dennis Eckersley. I remember all these guys as though it was yesterday. Why? Because the effect that they had on the game. And LaMelo Ball is doing that again right now. It's the effect he has on the game. If you're my age, 57 plus, maybe a little bit younger, you remember this day right here. Enjoy this few seconds with me on this video.
And during the And Mike Scioscia will start it off. Ball one.
Vinny's had 8 saves that were less than an inning. 21 saves were just 1 inning. 8 saves were an inning or inning and 2/3, and an 8 save 2 innings. That's as much as he goes.
Popped up around the bag at second. It'll be Walt Weiss. 1 down. So Eckersley with 45 saves is not a hard worker. In fact, only 15 of those 45 saves did he work more than 1 inning. And he never worked more than 2. A reminder, coming up next, except on the West Coast, local news and Saturday Night Live. 1 out in the 9th. And young Jeff Hamilton coming up. It is Hamilton who had the closest shot tonight to get the Dodgers into the game. With 1 out in the 6th inning, the Dodgers had consecutive singles by Marshall, Shelby, and Scioscia for a run. And with runners at first and second and 1 out, Hamilton hit into a double play. He fouled it away. He broke his bat in doing it. And the Dodgers really have not been heard from since.
Eckersley sidearms you, and he'll make you give ground, and he really hits that outside corner. He will come inside, but he really likes that strike on the outside corner. And there's Gibson.
0-1. In there. Seeing him with a helmet on, you have a former Oakland A's out on deck, Mike Davis. We'll see what all that means. I doubt if he'd be up there to hit for Davis. I think that it'll be up to Davis to extend the inning to allow Gibson one last shot. 0-2. Sidearm, mean strike 3 call. That came from around the corner.
That's what he does. He sidearms you, makes you give, and lives on that outside corner. And then if you get too close, he'll push you back, but he doesn't like to throw that many inside strikes.
So Mike Davis will come up now, one former Oakland A, to hit for another, Alfredo Griffin. 2 out, 9th inning. Oakland 4, Dodgers 3, and here is Mike Davis. Davis, like Alfredo Griffin, had a very, very difficult time adjusting over in the National League. He hit less than 200. And with that swing of his, they expected him to manufacture some home runs, and he had only 2. Time, no pitch. When Davis played at Oakland, he hit 22 home runs, 19 home runs, 24 home runs, but only 2 in the National League.
Boy, Eckersley really comes at you. He throws nothing but strikes. He challenges everybody.
Fouled away, off to the left and out of play. 0-1. By the way, Gibson is not on deck. Dave Anderson is. A footnote to that, you see 7 out of 10. Only the 87 Twins, the 84 Tigers, and the 80 Phillies have won Game 1 in the series. No balls, 1 strike. Wouldn't chase it. 1-1.
He's not going to give him a ball to pull. It'll be a mistake if it gets inside, because you can see where Hasse is setting up.
Hitters have a great tendency in the American League to chase a bad slider that he throws, but that's off the plate. Fastball, ball 2, 2-1.
Sometimes too, Vin, when he comes, as we look at Gibson again, when he comes from that way, he kind of drops that arm and he's kind of pitching uphill, so it'll rise on you.
He's thrown that ball out there 3 consecutive times, and each time Davis refused to nibble. So the Dodgers are down to their last out. 3 balls and 1 strike to Mike Davis. Bottom of the 9th. A's 4, Dodgers 3.
If he gets on, we're going to hear some roar.
3-1. And he walked him. And look who's coming up.
See, it's those moments of expectation that are not supposed to happen, and LaMelo Ball are full of those. That's why we watch him every time he touches the ball. Kirk Gibson can barely walk. A left hamstring is completely torn. His right knee is swollen beyond a knee. Just watch what happens if you're young. If you're old and my age, we know what happened, and we cried that day.
This is it. If he hits the ball on the ground, I would imagine he would be running 50% to first base. So the Dodgers trying to catch lightning right now. Fouled away. He was, complaining about the fact that
he could barely walk. I love Clayton Kershaw and the new Dodgers, but see, I go back to the era of real Dodger Stadium.
Look at his crowd on its feet. What a tribute.
4-3 A's, 2 out, 9th inning. Not a bad opening act. Mike Davis, by the way, has stolen 7 out of 10. If you're wondering about Lasorda throwing the dice again.
Rest in peace, Tom Lasorda.
Fouled away again.
And he's staying on an outside corner. He's not going to give him a ball to pull. With Davis, he just missed. But here's 2 quick strikes, both fastballs that kind of tail away at the outside part. Hasse is not even flirted with the inside part of that plate.
You saw Dave Duncan gesturing. He was gesturing to Carney Lansford at third. 0-2 to Gibson. The infield is back with 2 out and Davis at first. Now Gibson during the year, not necessarily in this spot, but he was a threat to bunt. No way tonight, no wheels.
They're plenty deep in the outfield and a lot of room. They're playing him straight away in center field. Look at it, right down the line. He's a threat now with 2 strikes.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Little nubber, foul. And it had to be an effort to run that far. Gibson.
We all that day were like, no way. No way he's out. No way, not Kirk Gibson. That's the same thing we were saying about LaMelo. No way, he's going to make that shot.
He's not driving that ball. It was by him. Let's see. He's really he almost has to talk to his legs and say, hey, let's go. We got to get out of here.
It's one thing to favor one leg, but you can't favor 2.
No way. And that's what he's trying to do. He really is.
0-2 to Gibson. And a throw down to first. Davis just did get back. Good play by Ron Hasse using Gibson as a screen. He took a shot at the runner, and Mike Davis didn't see it for that split second, and that made it close.
A lot of times what you do, you'll give a sign to the first baseman, say, now be there. They call it now be there play. If I get the ball, I'm going to throw it. 14 fastballs in a row. That's all he's been throwing.
There goes Davis, and it's fouled away. So Mike Davis, who had stolen 7 out of 10 and carrying the tying run, was on the move.
They wanted to give Gibson a good shot at it with 2 strikes, but with the 2 strikes, Davis a threat, as we said, because the blue pit will score that big run.
Gibson shaking his left leg, making it quiver like a horse trying to get rid of a troublesome fly. 2-2. Mike Scioscia can only sit now and sweat it out. He led off the inning and popped up. Tony La Russa is 1 out away from win number 1.
Here's the big pitch. He's got to make it happen on this one.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out.
Those extra steps that Davis will get if the count goes to 3-2 are very big. So Hasse and Eckersley want that pitch of decision right here.
Way outside. He's stolen it.
He started to throw and kind of bumped Gibson, but it was way too late. Davis was way down there, almost as if he could have walked in. Not a bad pitch to handle for Hasse outside. Now watch when he starts to throw. Look at Gibson. And Harvey says, no, he had the base stolen.
Everyone still talks about Bill's Buckner bad play where he made an error for the team to lose, but they won't talk about Kirk Gibson. I'm going to talk about him as much as I can, as long as I can.
Is the leadoff man, Steve Sachs. 3-2. Sachs waiting on deck, but the game right now is at the plate.
Man, I still remember that like yesterday. Like yesterday. Go ahead, Tommy. Like yesterday. I know you do too. I know you do too. That's when LA was alive, all about Dr. Blue. Everywhere you went. Except Inglewood. Lakers. Wow. That was amazing. So you see what I'm saying? Here it is, LaMelo Ball doesn't have or didn't get what MJ got, didn't get what LeBron James got, but yet he still comes in the league and does Kirk Gibson's style of play, to where he's an underdog, but yet he's an achiever. See, sometimes that's what it's called for the underdog to be the overachiever, and that's what LaMelo Ball has done. So I just want to thank you again for tuning in to our channel and listening to and supporting the content. All the new content developers we're meeting, thank you for allowing us to become a part of what you're doing too. Anything that we can do to help, we don't know that much. We're limited. Let us know. We're willing. Because it's all about sharing knowledge and information. One man, it will never be about. All right. So have a great one. Be blessed. Peace and blessings. Most of all, look out for who and what you are. Thank you very much.